Royals, and welcome back to my channel. As you see by the title of today's video, we are going to be doing a business Q&A today, which is Sunday, September 6th. I went ahead and went on live on YouTube, and I basically had you guys ask me some questions that you want to answer in a Q&A, and we're finally here. Well, I'm saying finally as if I'm not filming this video like 30 minutes later. But anyway, I got a decent amount of questions, so I'm gonna try to not go off into a tangent, and then if I feel like the video is getting too long, I'll do a part 1 and a part 2 of the video. Okay, so the very first question is, did I have to manage my bills when I first started my business? Like, was I like managing my money and things like that? And I was. So this is Tati from the future, obviously editing, and I don't feel like I answered this question properly. If the question in regards to me like managing my bills was like referring to my actual personal bills, then I will answer that as well right now. So at the time of me actually starting my business, I still stayed at home with my parents. Shout out to my parents, okay? And so that of course made my process a lot easier. Number one, at the time I only had, the bills I had were like cell phone, car insurance, and what else, like school loans, and is that it? Cell phone, car insurance, school loan. Wow, life was good. I think those were the only 3 bills that I had at the time, if I'm not mistaken. So it wasn't like too much for me to manage, but of course I always try to make sure in terms of like things like that I stay on top of it. And then when it came to my business, then that was just something that I had to add in. But like I said, well, like I will explain in the next clip, I did give myself a budget when starting my business. I set a certain amount that I wanted to spend in the entire process of me starting my business, just so that I can give myself some boundaries and not overspend and do too much, but also not do too little. The price that I set myself was $1,000, but that's every single thing included. That's my LLC. That was for my, when you purchase the name of your site, I forget what that's called because I'm blanking right now. Like, that's literally every single thing down to the smallest of details. That's how much I spent. Then the next question I got was, do I have boundaries, in generally speaking as well as monetarily? And yes, I have boundaries for both. Like I was just explaining for the first question, I make sure when I am re-upping on inventory, I'm spending a certain amount of money, because I think it's important to not overspend so that the profit is still in consideration. For example, when it comes to rebranding, if I don't know what a certain item, like how it's going to sell, so I have to make sure I set boundaries in not only like how much I spend, but also the quantity as well. Like, you don't want to go ahead and buy 400 hoodies because you typically sell 400 t-shirts if you're just introducing the hoodies to your site, because you don't know if your customers are going to react in the same way to your hoodies that they do with your t-shirts. So I would suggest that you start off with like maybe 30 hoodies instead of the typical 400, and then if they fly off the shelf, you know for next time, okay, I'm going to order the same 400 that I do for the t-shirts, if that makes sense. Third question was where I get my vinyl. So in terms of my HTV, which is my heat transfer vinyl, I order off of Amazon, but I order from the brand Scissor. I think that's how you pronounce it, S-I-S-E-R. I love it so much. It's the easiest like peel ever, and it lasts long. I'm sure you can find it anywhere. I haven't done price comparisons, so I should probably do that. But that's where I personally order from, and I think for 5 yards it's about like 30 bucks. Depending on the color, the price will vary. As far as my adhesive vinyl, I don't know the name of the exact brand, but I'll go ahead and put it onto the screen right here, because I also order that off of Amazon, and there's a particular one that I really like, so I'll make sure to put that on the screen. The next question is, do I have my LLC and does it hold value in my business? Yes, I do have an LLC. It was the second thing that I purchased for my business, and I do think that it holds value because it gives me the ability to do certain things for certain vendors where they require like my EIN. If you want to apply for like certain grants and things like that, EIN would be necessary, and I just feel like just the legitimacy of it just makes me feel a little more comfortable. Number 5, did I start YouTube before my business or after? So I actually started YouTube, this particular channel, well, both channels that I had, I started before my business. So this channel I started, the very first video I uploaded was on December 28th of 2018. So really the beginning of last year was the start of my YouTube, the start of this YouTube channel. So it's been almost 2 years since I started my YouTube channel. So yes, honey, I did start that before my business, because I started my business in last July 2019. Established July 2019, you know what I'm saying? The next question is, did I always know what business I wanted to start, or did I try out a few things first? So I always knew that I wanted to be an entrepreneur, but I always used to say that I was going to start like a cupcake shop, but your girl don't know how to bake. Okay, I just knew I wanted a business, and a cupcake shop just sounded like cute and girly, so I was like, oh yes, that's what I'm gonna do. But yeah, obviously that's not the route that I chose. In terms of like the items that I have in the beginning, I did like just try out a few things, figure out what it is that I like, the stuff that I really like and I feel like were a part of me. Even if they did do well on my site, if I didn't feel like it was me, I'm like, yeah, I don't want to bring that back. So like I do think it's like a process. And in terms of advice when it comes to this, even though it wasn't specifically asked like for advice about this, but I feel like it's just super important, which I do now 110%. When I first started out, for instance, like I was selling things that I personally would not wear on a regular basis, so it would be hard for me to promote it myself. So I think it's just important for me and anyone else who's in business to sell things not exactly that are on trend, because it just may not do well for you, but things that just like go along with you and your lifestyle, if that makes sense, because it just seems more genuine and people can feel that. And if you're able to like wear it all the time, then that works out even better for you when it comes to like promoting your products. The next question is, where do I see my business by this time next year? By this time next year, I definitely plan to see my business way larger than it is right now. Not that I feel like my business is disorganized, but I hope by next year that I have like my complete lineup. So my next rebrand won't really be like as far as new products, but just more so different colors or different sayings and things like that, you know what I mean, instead of like completely switching up the whole thing. So I feel like by next year I'll definitely have a complete hold on what it is that I do and do not want to sell, and I'm like really excited about that. Way more successful, a lot more exposure. That's what I see for myself around this time next year for my business. Which, that was a really good question. Do I have platform recommendations outside of YouTube? So people seem to do really well. I mean, this is gonna sound annoying because I'm gonna like name almost every platform, but I know TikTok has been doing businesses really well, like making them like explode and sell out. I know Twitter can be an amazing platform, and then Instagram, it seems like it's a lot easier to grow an Instagram platform than it is like a YouTube platform. Honestly, YouTube takes a lot of hard work, long hours, and dedications. Not that Instagram does not. Instagram produces more sales than YouTube as well. Now that I've reached 10,000 on YouTube, baby, that's my next thing to tackle, Instagram. Learn the Instagram algorithm and take off. Top 3, I would say, would be TikTok, Instagram, and then Twitter. But that's just from the outside looking in. I can't personally speak on it because YouTube is my like largest selling platform. Have I ever thought about wholesaling custom shirts? Which I did accidentally answer this on the live, but yes, that's something that I've been working on this weekend in terms of pricing and how I'm gonna upload everything onto my site. But yes, I am going to be wholesaling custom bulk t-shirts, so you guys look out for that. What do I think of the change in Instagram's algorithm? So I have noticed that, like just other things being promoted in my TO of people that I don't personally follow. I feel like it could be good for businesses because it's just like you're getting more promotion that way. But I could also see it being something bad in the sense that like people may not want to follow you just because they're seeing something that they did not sign up for, if that makes sense. How do I balance my business and YouTube? So the good thing about it is that like my YouTube is my business, so it makes it easy for me to film content, but for me to actually like edit as well as get orders out the way, that's the hard part. So that's why when it comes to like filming me making orders, you guys, like I don't really like, every once in a while I may do like a video of me doing like a large amount of orders at once, but typically I like to show you guys like 1 to like 5 orders at a time, just because I get so distracted. I don't like to be distracted when I'm filming. I mean when I'm working on orders, because orders are very tedious. I don't know, it's so weird, but that's how I am. But it's easy to do the both of them, just because like I said, I need my business in order for me to film. At least for the content that I put out onto my personal channel. But time management is very important. Me writing down video ideas and using my planner, all that stuff plays a huge part in me being able to make sure that everything is on track for both of those things that are very important to me. How to stay motivated? So I think motivation, depending on you and your own story and your own background, you know, history, all that good stuff, motivation could just come from different places. For me being able to put my parents in a more comfortable place, or to be able to give money to my siblings whenever, however, me just thinking about like the things that go on in the world today, honestly, like with a lot of people losing their lives at early ages, and not even just like on the social media platform. I personally have lost, unfortunately, a lot of friends my age, and not even due to like violence or anything, but just like the feeling of losing people my age just makes me appreciate life and makes me want more out of life, which is motivation enough, honestly. Or even not even people just my age, but like older people that I have lost as well. Just thinking about like making them proud. God forbid, I don't want to die and like not have lived my purpose and not have like experienced passion in like my career or in my life or in my relationship and things like that. So I think that's the motivation enough for me to like keep going in terms of my business, because I want to be successful. I want to be able to help and like just stuff like that. So I think that's really motivating for me personally. How to be confident / love yourself. That is a really good question. It's only something I feel like you can personally do. And because honestly, you guys, I really used to be so insecure. Like when I was like in middle school, it's really a process. It's hard to explain. I think the thing that taught me how to be confident is just like realizing how human you and everyone around you are. I have flaws, so does the most popular girl in school. And just basically telling yourself, not even just you're beautiful, because sometimes that's not even enough. Like you're worth it, you're smart. Affirmations, figuring out the things that you love to do and actually doing them. And once you begin to learn yourself, learn your look, you know how people say like look good, feel good. I feel like that's a real thing. Doesn't mean makeup or anything super extravagant. What's beautiful to you is what's important, not what he thinks or what she thinks. I feel like once you accept that, it'll just bring out like a loads of confidence and stuff like that. So yes. Did I get discouraged when starting my business, and how did I motivate myself? Okay, so when I was starting my business, honestly, that was probably the least discouraged that I felt, like, because I think I've told this story on my channel before, but it was during the month of Ramadan. If anyone's not familiar, it's a holy month for Muslims, and pretty much during that month, you cut out a lot of things. You fast during the day, sun up to sundown. Basically, you want to just have like a really pure 30 days. During that month, I was so like tunnel vision. I was super focused. That's the only thing I focused on other than like prayers and my fast. I didn't even leave room for me to be discouraged. But after me actually like launching the business, that's when like those feelings came in. And for me to stay motivated and thinking about the fact that I even have the ability to afford starting a business, because some people aren't even able to do that. So just like small appreciations of life, of financial stability, of creativity, and just things like that. I think those are the things that keep me motivated and keep me pushing in those moments when I'm just like, oh my goodness, like why didn't I get a sale today, or things like that. It's like, well babe, you got a sale yesterday, someone didn't get that, you know, like just being appreciative, just blocking out comparison. One of the most important things that I remember hearing one time, I went to a workout class and it said something like walking across the stage and getting the diploma is not what made you the person that you are. It was the long hours of studying. It was the long hours of trying when you were failing tests and things like that. So basically the process is what's going to make you into the person that you are. So just remembering that, and not looking on Instagram and seeing an already Instagram famous person launch a business and sell out in 2 seconds. Like that can't discourage you, because you know we're starting from the bottom, and even them, there is moments in their lives that we didn't see and they maybe had to struggle with. So it's just good to not compare yourself and just to be appreciative of every small accomplishment. Launching your first sale, your second sale, like you have to really appreciate every single thing. Every single time I get an order, I thank God. Every single time I get a new subscriber, I thank God. Does YouTube help in terms of like promoting my business? It does, because like personally, as you guys may have noticed, it's like where I mainly promote my stuff. Like every time I upload a video, that's when like I get sales. Since I'm not like super active on my social media platforms, which I'm not even going to sit here and say, oh, I'm going to get better, because I'm not going to say it anymore. I'm just going to let you guys see it. How to be productive as an entrepreneur. Basically, again, it's important to write down goals, write down what you have to do. Time management is so important, especially with me still working a part-time job that turned full-time. Time management is so important. I can't stress it enough. Like me just like time blocking, like okay, at this moment I need to edit for an hour, and then I need to do orders for 3 hours, and then I have to go to work. So honestly, I know this may sound weird, but the way I was just explaining that is to also say sometimes the best way to force yourself to be productive is to make yourself like overly busy, because then it kind of gives you no excuse and no space to be unproductive, because that's the only time you have to do the orders, or the only time you have to edit. That's something that I personally do that may not work for everyone, but that's what I do. Just time blocking, staying busy, that forces me to be productive, because I know I only have but so much time. And then also, again, even those motivating factors that I've been mentioning throughout the video, that also helps me to like, it's me to just be productive. Next up, we have how long to test products before selling. So like I was saying on the live video, I feel like it definitely depends on the product itself. So for instance, I'm going to test a face mask like 3 to 4 times on different occasions, space it out to make sure it's actually the face mask that's showing me the results. In terms of the whipped shea butter, that was like so long ago, but I think that took like a couple of weeks of just me like getting the correct consistency, seeing how it lasts, seeing how it is after I wash my hands. For the t-shirts, I will print on the shirt, I wash the shirt. For vinyl, it's best to wash the shirts inside out for the longest wear, but I wash it inside out as well as right side out, just so I can make sure that it doesn't peel, which it did not. Dry it, see if, make sure the shirt doesn't shrink. So it's just like kind of more so like an act of like doing something to make sure that it's going to work. But I feel like in terms of jewelry and things like that, that's where you need to like kind of put more so of like a time frame on it. Because with jewelry, when I was first starting out, I like to wear it all day, all night, make sure that it doesn't tarnish. And if it does tarnish and it's still like a good piece of jewelry, then I'm going to sell it for less, and I'm going to put that in the description, like, hey, I would recommend not wearing it in water. I feel like for jewelry, at least like 2 weeks of being able to wear it non-stop, or at least all day, just to see like the quality of the jewelry, so that you can make sure you're transparent with that with like your customers and or audience. If I had one thing that I would advise people, is pretty much the question. My advice for people just starting out, basically, like I would say, which I'm sorry if this seems repetitive, but number one, if you have not like actually taken the step to start the business, I'm going to say just do it. Don't overcloud your head of doubt and being discouraged, because I did that for years and I regret it. If I would have started my business when I originally wanted to start my business, I know that I would be somewhere living in Spain right now, like just living my best life. So basically, do not waste time. I love when I get comments from people who are like, oh, I'm 10, oh, I'm 13, and you motivate me. That makes me so happy. Like, start it now, and by the time you're like my old age, like, you'll be so good, as long as you like put hard work and dedication into it, and you make sure you know are putting out quality products and stuff like that. So that's for if you have not crossed the path. Ooh, I'm running out of storage, so I'll be back. Or I'll see you guys in part 2 then, because this is a sign from God. So your girl was looking beat, but yeah, so basic. It's been raining so bad all morning. So basically, as you guys saw, my video was cut short because I started to run out of storage, and I said it was a sign from God, so we're going to stick with that. But I do have a lot more questions that I need to answer, so I'll go ahead and put up part 2 of the Q&A, not tomorrow because I don't want it to be too repetitive in my uploads, but either Wednesday or Thursday I'll put that up, because I'm gonna just upload a few vlogs in between. But be prepared, because those questions, I mean, that Q&A will be very lengthy, because I do have a lot of questions left over, and then people also commented some questions down below in the comment section of the live, and I'll go ahead and answer those questions too. Okay, so if you made it to this part of the video, go ahead and comment down below any advice that you guys have for your fellow entrepreneurs and things as well. And then as far as an emoji, if you could comment down below pancake, because I have pancakes en route from Uber Eats right now. If you haven't already, make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Go ahead and give me a huge thumbs up. Comment down below any questions, comments, concerns, video suggestions, compliments, and all that good stuff. And I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video, which, as you now know, will be an entrepreneur vlog, so stay tuned. Peace.